Welcome back. So I'm wearing a Doctor Who shirt that a friend of mine sent me a very, very long time ago, and San Diego Padres hat. I don't have a Doctor Who hat. At any rate, I wanted to talk today about Doctor Who. Now, what's interesting is I'm known as the hockey guy, and of course, behind me is all the hockey gear of all the hockey stuff and all the hockey that ever hockeyed. But before I ever did hockey videos, I did Doctor Who videos, and I would talk about each episode. So if you haven't seen the 60th anniversary special yet, like the first part, I would say go watch it. Go check it out. It was fantastic. Loved it. It doesn't lean too hard into the nostalgia part of it because you have David Tennant's back, Catherine Tate's back. It did a really, really good job, I thought, of making it all make sense if you're going to bring them back without being too heavy handed about it. One argument that I've had with the show for years now is that the writing's been really heavy handed, really ham fisted in its messaging. Last night's episode, the message was adventure, fun. There wasn't some big overarching message behind it, which is an argument I've had against Doctor Who for the last few years. Is okay, all right, I see the message we're sending. Oh, and we're going to do this for an hour. Wonderful. Awesome. Great. So it just feels like this show reset itself. That bringing back Russell T Davies and what I watched yesterday was a reset. And it's interesting because, after a long day of hockey like yesterday, the only show that could have made me say, all right, I gotta watch this would be a new episode of Doctor Who. There was a time where I would skip hockey to watch Doctor Who. That if they were on at the same time, I'd be like, all right, well, I'm watching the Doctor then, because that's on right now. So, too bad hockey. Of course, now I can't do that. I'm not in a position where that's real. I mean, it's an option, but it's not a good idea. Obviously, I could do the reviews on here. I could do some kind of React content on here, but it's not gonna it's not gonna hit, and it's probably be counterproductive to my bottom line if I went in that direction now. But last night's episode, it reminded me why I fell in love with the show. It reminded me why I used to be such an avid viewer that I would count down the days until the next episode, that I would rewatch episodes. And when the season was done, I'd be like kind of sad. How every season you'd usually have 13 episodes, and one of them would be kind of crap. One episode would be kind of like you're thinking, I don't know why I'm watching this other than because Doctor Who. This is really kind of dumb, isn't it? But what ended up happening is, as time went by, like the Peter Capaldi era, I enjoyed. And I've always said, and I still say, Peter Capaldi is my doctor. Everybody has a doctor that they say, that one to me is the epitome of the doctor. And to me, Peter Capaldi was the one. But the writing definitely slid. The last year with Peter Capaldi, where Bill was um, his companion, I did not enjoy that season very much. And I was kind of like, oh no. And then they cast Jodie Whittaker. I was 100% behind it. I thought this is a good idea. You can do this. You can do it. The Doctor can be a woman. Absolutely. And Jodie Whittaker's a good actress, and she did a good job. The writing, though, was absolutely horrible. It was bad. The final season of it, I never watched. I had no interest. There were too many inconsistencies to the Doctor, to the companions, to the relationships that were there. There were too many relationships. There was too much to follow. And last night it was a very simple story of the Doctor and Donna are together again. Why? And that was basically the entire plot. And it feels like that's the overarching plot of these three episodes without it needing to smack you in the face with things, which is nice because I don't like it when a show smacks me in the face with things. One thing that is important is to have that show, that thing that just makes you forget about all the other crap going on in the world, and just you have a chance to zone out. And Doctor Who was that for me, and it felt like in the Chris Chibnall era, that was no longer a thing. um, I think that's part of the reason why I still watch some of the sitcoms I do, because sitcoms, they don't really require energy. There's not really any like big, massive, overarching commentary with it. You just sit and enjoy a show. It's a show, you enjoy it, and that's that. And last night's Doctor Who, I thought, did a very good job of getting back to that, where you have some good messages in the show itself, but like if there's a special characteristic of a character, that's not the defining characteristic of that character. So for instance, you have a character that's in a wheelchair. That's not why she's in the show. The character is not written to be a person in a wheelchair. It's an actor in a wheelchair playing a character, and that character absolutely could have been able-bodied. It would not have changed the character. Instead of, if you have a character that's in a wheelchair and everywhere they go, they're like, there's no accessibility in this city. And looking at the camera being like, we should work harder on that. And it felt like there were overarching themes that were getting really, really kind of noisy in the most recent seasons. And this one, nope. So, really appreciated it. I thought it was really well done. So I'm going to get into some of the plot stuff. So if you don't want to hear about the plot stuff, by all means, stop this video and go watch the show. It was great. So, we still don't know exactly why the 14th Doctor looks like the 10th Doctor, but we have a good idea that it was to help Donna, to meet up with Donna again. It's not a coincidence that that's what the TARDIS picked as the spot. And what's interesting is the stinger at the end of the episode, because of course each episode sets up the next episode. I thought, and Yvonne and I agree on this, that the TARDIS is kind of setting this up. Like it feels like either the TARDIS is consciously doing this, or there's going to be some theme of destiny behind what's going on. Because if the TARDIS is that easily damaged, I don't know how it survived for as long as it has. And we have seen the TARDIS absolutely explode and still end up back together. So for Doctor Who, I thought last night's episode and then the way that it ended too, it was really fascinating. I thought the Meep was fantastic. I have to say, the Meep was excellent. And it really, I thought it got nicely into kind of a bit of a cheesy, overarching storyline with the villain, because it is supposed to be a show for kids. Sometimes over the years it forgets it was originally a show intended for kids. And I thought the Meep was this really cartoonish sort of character that, yeah, no, that works for kids. I did kind of see the twist to the episode coming. So as soon as what happened was, I picked up on it right away that they're driving away with the Meep. The car gets hit with laser blasts and keeps driving, and I was like, that doesn't seem very strong for a laser blast. That's odd. And within 2 scenes, they've explained why. Within 2 scenes, they've explained, okay, what you saw, what you observed is absolutely accurate, and then they pay it off. And that's something that I thought was nice, that you set it up and you pay it off right away. And you don't pay it off 12 episodes later. You pay it off now. And so I just thought it was really well done. The Meep was excellent. And again, I really don't want to spoil it for people. I really don't. It was just very fun, and it was, Unit's back, and the relationship between the Doctor and Unit feels like it's kind of reset a little bit. And yeah, it's also captured like this new sort of feeling with David Tennant's Doctor. You can tell the 14th's a little different than the 10th. And it does a really, really nice job of having an episode that echoed the old Doctor Who from the mid 2000s without really beating you over the head with it. It wasn't like there was somebody coming in and looking at the camera going, "Isn't this great? It's like old Doctor Who." Okay, I'm gonna get back into the scene. But you could feel that excitement behind the show. You could feel that excitement in the episode. And it's great. And so if you're a lapsed Doctor Who viewer, I would honestly recommend giving this episode a chance, The Star Beast, because it was great. And I guess I'm not going to spoil it. I can't ruin it for people. It's a 60th anniversary special. It's great. It felt like they took a whole movie and they put it into 59 minutes. I couldn't believe it was only an hour long. I was kind of like, wow, this feels like a movie. Feels like there's the setup, there's the payoff, and everything else. It's so well encapsulated. And then at the end, they tack on the, you've got to watch next time, which has always been part of the Doctor Who experience. So it was great, fantastic. I cannot wait for the rest of the specials, and then to see Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor. I know it's Ncuti. I believe it's Ncuti Gatwa from Sex Education, taking over as the Doctor. And I'm saying I think it's because I think that's how you pronounce it, and it's going to take me a while if I got that wrong. But he was great in Sex Education. Eric was one of my favorite characters on there, and I know he's going to be excellent in this. He had a bit part in the Barbie movie as well, but I know he's going to be great. Everything I've read about Millie Gibson, I haven't seen anything she's in, but everything I've heard about Millie Gibson, she's very good as well. And it's not really a surprise to me that Russell T Davies comes back, and he kind of sets the show a little bit as a reboot. Like, this did feel like a reboot to me, whether it was intended to be or not. It really felt like the 60th anniversary of this first episode was a reboot. Like, okay, we're starting over. All that stuff that happened. We're going to allude to it in this episode, but we're going to move on. And it feels like that's going to be the spirit of it, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm excited to see the Christmas special when that rolls around. We haven't seen a Christmas special for a while. There's a reason that Doctor Who was done the way that it was. It feels like the last couple of Doctors, they've been trying to kind of do things different. And okay, now we're going to try this. Why? People, we like what works. The Christmas specials always work, and yeah, I'm really glad that's part of what's come back to the show too. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see Wilf. I'm gonna have to have tissues ready for when I see Wilf, because honestly, Wilford's the one that I cannot hold it together. When he salutes the Doctor, he knows the Doctor's going to regenerate. It's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heart-wrenching. Wilf was the best companion I think the show ever had. Just they sneak that in there. Like, I loved Clara, I loved Rose, Amy at times, Amy and Rory at times. What's funny is I like Amy and Rory as characters, but man, it got ham-fisted at times. And of course, Rose. I loved Rose. I loved that there was a character named Rose in last night's episode, and it was, once they explain why the character's name's Rose, you're like, that makes sense. That makes complete and total sense. So I thought it was great. I thought it was so well done. So impressed. But let me know, if you watched it last night, how did you feel about it? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Why or why not? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And absolutely, I will be doing weekly Doctor Who reviews. Once the show's next season drops, and it looks like it might be April, May when the season drops with Ncuti Gatwa, then I will be reviewing every episode. I'm back. I'm back watching Doctor Who every week. All right. Thanks again for all your support. I have to go deal with a cat fight. I'll talk to you again later.